I need everyone to understand that actions like what AOC did is exactly why Trump got elected. Because right now, a lot of people on both the left and right have been feeling what's called anti-politics, a term coined by the anthropologist James Ferguson to describe a general distrust of the government, politicians, and politics as usual. And honestly, who can blame them when politicians who say they're on the left vote to continue funding Israel's war machine despite claiming to be pro-Palestinian, or politicians who say they're on the right vote to block the release of the Epstein files despite claiming to care about children's lives. And this is a very real problem. A Princeton study has even found that what we say has almost zero influence on what becomes law. And when the people we elect to represent us break our trust over and over again, anti-politics is the obvious result. This feeling has only gotten more common around the world since the 2000s, as inequality has gotten worse because politicians who claim to represent the people continue to enact policies that funnel more and more wealth into the hands of a few. And when people don't feel like they have a real stake in the political process, especially the allocation of resources, it creates a sense of disillusionment and apathy. And after decades of anti-left campaigns across the Western world, there aren't real leftist structures for people to channel their frustrations. That makes people the perfect target for right-wing authoritarians. And if you look at many of the right-wing figures that have taken power across the world lately, like Trump, Bolsonaro in Brazil, or Milei in Argentina, a common thread between them is that they position themselves as outsiders of traditional politics who promise to be different. They promise to change the system, to drain the swamp, when in reality, they are the swamp. So many political scientists even warn that anti-politics, if not addressed, could lead to the fracturing of democracies itself. That's why it's so important for those of us on the left to continue to build structures that can welcome people in, so that they're not taken down right-wing pipelines instead. And that's also why it's not purity politics to expect some level of accountability and consistency from our representatives. It's literally their entire job to represent the people who elected them and the values that they claim to have. And when they don't, it fractures democracy itself and lays the foundation for authoritarianism and fascism. A democracy only functions when we make them work for every single vote. So we should always be demanding more, calling out the inconsistencies that we see, and daring to take more action. Politics is meant to be a two-way conversation. It's our representatives that are meant to fall in line with us, or get out of the way. So with that in mind, you should know that every seat in the House of Representatives is up for re-election next year. So now is the time to get organized. You can read more about anti-politics and how we can build more democratic organizations in the latest Dispatch, where we discuss that and a lot more. You can get access to that along with a growing directory of resources to help you better organize in your communities at theconsciouscitizens.org. You can help us keep all of this free by supporting our work for as little as $2 a month.